joined today by David Kwan and Russell Smith. David comes from Oracle, Russell from Snowflake. So, guys, how has Oracle and Snowflake managed through the pandemic? And how have your employees been staying engaged with each other? David, let me start with you first.
Okay, sounds great. Well, first off, I think we're like everyone else in the industry that, last March, we all had to pivot very quickly. And so, you fast forward and you look back and go, wow, we've come a long way from the first month, right? And our employees are just, yearning for technology to help them feel more connected to each other, to the company and whatnot. But we're doing okay. I think, as many others, we're all looking forward to having, some in-office type interactions and collaboration with each other as technology starts to advance. We're looking forward to the next phase of post-pandemic.
That's great. Russell, how about yourself?
I think for us, it's just keeping people connected. And we fall under the IT ops organization. So I think the hardest part is when you ask people to work from home, that we give them, ample support as quickly as possible. I think that really helps people stay engaged and connected when they don't have to worry about getting into meetings, their computer working, their network working. So I think that's a huge way just to keep people connected to everybody who's sitting at home and trying to figure out how to get through these times.
Yeah, and last week when we did sort of our briefing about the conversation today, we kind of talked about some of the changes that will happen as you begin to bring people back into the office and you sort of have this hybrid model. And I know we talked a little bit about a fear of those in the office and continuing that collaboration and synergy with those that are still working from home. How does Oracle plan to address this, David?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we're all going to be learning forward in this space, right? It's that two-class system, like other companies, we're going to have depending on roles, we'll have employees that will be full-time at home. We'll have some people that'll be in a hybrid mode where they'll be somewhat in the office and somewhat flex. And then we'll have people that will be dedicated to the office. And so, you have a culture and a technology challenge that we have to kind of provide innovation towards and culture, right? We have to advise and teach, right? Just getting people connected, because otherwise by nature, people will walk down the hall, involve people that they would normally just see. It's people's, tendencies. And so we're looking to try to build a program around that and trying to address how people are working remote and try to take things from the office and make them more remote first. And I think that's the biggest challenge that we're going to face. And we're looking for partners like Samsung to help us do that.
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, I think you actually talked about sort of almost a lobby type area that would allow people to come and go and help ease that transition from virtual into the hybrid, and then sort of people mingling in that kind of lobby space virtually.
Yeah, that's a great point, Chris. We've been experimenting with, as many know, we're a large Zoom customer. And for us, one of the big things was, well, let's open up the Zoom rooms and let people come into this whole virtual lobby. And so teams are starting to use Zoom in different ways that we never predicted that they would. And so we see minutes driving up, which is great. And getting people connected to one another is probably one of the biggest challenges companies have. And, we're using our collaboration with Zoom and whatnot to help drive that.
That's awesome. And I know, Russell, we talked a little bit about the same subject and kind of that challenge of mixing the hybrid model together with those that have returned to the office. How is Snowflake going to address that?
I think Snowflake's really going to go with a data-driven approach. For us, we can try to predict as much as possible, but we really have no idea how our employees are going to react to this. Are they going to say they're going to come into the office twice a week and show up 0 times? So I think we're just preparing for kind of the flood of information that we don't know yet. So we're putting in a lot of technology and tools to be able to adapt quickly and best support our company as they continue to stay at home or they come into the office.
Yeah, and as we talk about bringing employees back into the office in Snowflake, you've had the hottest IPO in 2020. Congratulations on that. Your company's growing significantly. How are you looking at technology adoption heading into 2021?
So it's funny that you say with technology adoption, because let's talk about the AV space real quick. We've kind of always done business as usual. You build X amount of conference rooms per head count, you fill it with video conferencing, and you don't really care. You just have to have them there. But now you're starting to really kind of dig into the depths of that and understand, do we need more conference rooms? Do we need less conference rooms? What size display do we need? What kind of technology can we give these people at home so they have that same experience and have the same quality experience? So I think for us, it's data, data, data. Snowflake's big on using our own products. We're a cloud company, and we look to push all that stuff to the cloud, analyze it, and figure out the best way that we can support from an in-office experience and an at-home experience.
So, David, you have the challenging aspect of not just bringing people back in, but also you're moving some operations into Texas. How do you bring all of that challenges together here? That's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, well, first off, we built this beautiful campus in Austin in 2018 and have expanded it in the last year as well. So, we have a campus that houses more than 5,000 employees and really kind of just highlighting the Samsung presence. And it was the first office that we standardized the desktop monitors to 34-inch curved across every desk. And with over 5,000 units of these devices on people's desks there, it's really kind of driven a lot of value and again, productivity gains for our teams there, especially in sales. It also highlights a lot of the digital signage and other video walls that we've enabled there, more than 1,000 screens. So, again, trying to bring culture back into the remote flex and on-prem things, but it's just about building the right campus, building a innovative place, and then again, making as many services available remotely through collaboration and whatnot.
Yeah, and we appreciate all of that business. You've both been great Samsung customers over the years. Why is Samsung your partner of choice? David, how about you first? And
okay, yeah,
Russell
thanks.
will turn to you.
Yeah, so for us, it was really clear that Samsung listens. As we've asked for product enhancements or been engaged with different product managers across different products within Samsung, you can see that they, you guys care about what we give you input on, and things like just as simple as like, hey, we need more charging on a USB-C connector for our monitors, and next year it's there. So there's instant, connection back to the company. And again, you guys are problem solvers and highly engaged from the sales side of the house to make sure that we're successful in all facets of our business.
And I know, Russell, you've had some similar experiences. Perhaps you could touch on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree with everything that David said, but I would also say that it kind of helps that you guys have a plethora of products in your portfolio. So for us, we're a big LFD, large format display customer. But what's nice is, post COVID, as we kind of look into our desktop setup at home and in the office, you guys have plenty of products and opportunities for us to engage in different facets. So we're really looking kind of to expand our portfolio there, and Samsung continues to innovate and grow in all these spaces.
Yeah, and I think that's been one of the things that many times people don't really understand about Samsung is we want to hear our customers. We want to hear what our customers have to tell us about current products and what you're thinking about in the future, so we can take that feedback, not just from both Oracle and Snowflake, but bring that back to our R&D engineers, our product management teams. And I know you've both had those opportunities to sit down with our folks. So we appreciate you taking the time today, sitting down and talking with us. Look forward to working with you both in 2020. So it's been a pleasure. We could talk about this all day. I know we had a very lengthy conversation on Friday kind of talking about this, and I wish we could go on and on about it, but I'm going to send it back to Jill and the team over at 837. Over to you, Jill.